Happy Wednesday, FlossTube. Hello, crafty friends. My name's Caroline. Welcome back, Daily Crafty Chat. Today is Wednesday, December the 16th, and it's the 16th day of Flossmas. So it is now 11:20, 20 minutes after 11. The auctions from last week have just ended. I have messaged the winners, and I just need to post the 2 items that I'll have up for auction for this following week. So once again, I am raising money for Muscular Dystrophy Canada this month, and in combination with pattern sales from Patty Break of 4 Boys and a Newfoundland Girl, who has designed the holiday 2020 Flossmas ornament. You can find that on her Etsy page. There's a link in the drop down box below. The pattern is $5 Canadian, and 50% of all the proceeds from that chart go to Muscular Dystrophy Canada. And it is the chart that you see at the beginning of every one of my videos this month. And the other way is that I'm hosting some auctions on my private Instagram page. That is at Off the Grid Needlearts. So if you want to follow me over there every week, for this month, I am posting 2 to 3 items a week, and 100% of the winning bid is directly donated to Muscular Dystrophy Canada through you, the winning bidder, and then the item is then sent to you. So this week I have 2 new things going up for bid. The first one, like I mentioned yesterday, so I won't go into more huge detail today, because I did talk about it yesterday, but just to mention again, what's coming up today is a $100 shopping spree at www.celtichobbies.com for the landmark tapestries and charts designs. Now, what I've done was I've taken some screen grabs from my Instagram page from a few years back, when I had posted all of the Tapesta pillow collections pieces that I have completed and are framed and in my stairwell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop those into the end of the video so that they're going to be in the sort of music auction section at the end. And speaking of Savon, I might as well show you where I'm at with my work. So I have completed a little bit more of my 24-hour rotation, and I think all of this in here is new. I might have stitched some of this motif, but all of this fill-in is now complete. And I'm really, really close to that halfway mark of being absolutely 100% finished this quadrant. And then just one final quadrant to go. So close. So the details on this, it's been a while since I said it out loud. This is a 16 count off-white Aida, and I'm stitching this particular design with the called for DMC floss. This is my needle minder that I got from Abby. I purchased this from Abby Top Knot Stitcher at the New Jersey Floss Tube Retreat a couple of years ago, and 2 strands of floss. Oh, I just love it. So let's see where I'm at with my 24-hour rotation. The timer says 10 hours and 36 minutes are left. So that is my goal. Just 10 more hours of work into this by the end of the year, and I know I can do it. So the auction item is a $100 shopping spree on the landmark series of charts. And so that will be up for bid today. The other item that is up for auction today, and I mentioned this yesterday, I have everything tucked away in a bag to keep it all together. These are the Bent Creek Snapper series. There are 16 charts in the series. Hang on and I'll take you through them so that you can get a quick peek at the different designs. And then I had a couple of suggestions yesterday on yesterday's video, which was awesome. Thank you so much to those of you who helped me out, who helped me to figure out where to start the bidding on this particular item, but also the suggestion that I should add a couple of little things to it to make it a little more appealing and possibly therefore raise a little bit more money for MDC. So I've just added a couple of little things. I am going to add a notions pouch. So this is handmade by me, Evertote. And it will be your choice of fabric. I will have a few choices for you. So if you're not a fan of this particular one, you can choose. I will make you, you know, I'll send you a choice of, give me your favorite color. I'll send you a choice of 5 or 6 different ones, and I'll make you your choice of notions pouch. I of course will include a little hot chocolate from Tim Hortons because it's my favorite. And this floss, so this is $8.95, and this was the floss that I put in the holiday Evertote collection, so I'll put a skein of that in, as well as a needle minder with your initial. Let's get that to focus. So a needle minder, there's the back, with whoever wins the auction, I'll make one with your first initial on it. So that will be up for bid. So there's a little extra to go with the charts. So let's quickly take you through what's in this collection. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the order of the seasons here. We have the spring. Oh, and again, these come with all of the snaps that you need. All of the snaps are in a little tiny little pouch on the inside of each chart. So this is the spring cottage, hive, coop. That is so cute. And rounding out the spring is the hutch with the bunny. Oh, so sweet. Then we move into summer. Snapperland. That's the name of it. The price tag was covering up. Now we've got the price tag on the bottom here. So the summer Snapperland. So this is the whale house. The bike ride. The beach. And the lighthouse. So those are the series of 4 that belong with the summer series. Okay, now we're moving into autumn. We have harvest time, and autumn walk, pumpkin hunt. Come on, there we go. And turkey farm. So those are the 4 for autumn. Now the last 4 for winter, we have the chalet, Le Rink. This one I've seen stitched a number of times. It's really sweet. Le Rink. Oh, so cute. This is Sleigh Ride. And the very last chart is called The Villa. How cute is that? So cute. Okay, so those are the 16 charts. Now, I was told in the comments yesterday that approximate cost on each of these charts online sales is about $5. Now that's $5 US. So just to be clear, if you are bidding on these auction items, you are bidding in Canadian dollars, not American dollars. So the cost of the bidding might seem a little bit high to you if you are not Canadian, because your dollar, the American dollar, if you are American, if you are from a different country, you're probably more used to seeing US prices. The US dollar is higher than the Canadian dollar, so the cost of the item might seem quite high. But because you are donating to a Canadian charity, the money that you're donating will be converted to Canadian when you make your donation. So that's why the auction items are being listed in Canadian dollars. So just something to keep in mind. Also, this particular series, it was mentioned that Bent Creek has a free border that you can download at their website if you want to stitch all of these designs in one gigantic piece. And how cool would that be? So, and I know I've seen that before. I've done the same thing with my Frosty Forest. I've done that, and the border was provided by Country Cottage Needleworks. So this little package will be up for bid today, and I will hopefully have that up by about 3 o'clock this afternoon or earlier, because there's a whole week, so I don't have to be quite so firm with when I list them. They'll be listed at some point later this afternoon, but the cutoff for bids will be next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that I am firm about. So yeah, those are the items going up for bid today. So let's raise some money. The only other thing that I have to show you today is what I worked on last night. And this is my Ink Circles Damask Square. That's how you spell it right there. I will try to remember to change my WIP information in the drop down box below today. I did not do that yesterday. So Ink Circles Damask Square. I am stitching this. Oh, look at this. Ta-da! Okay, so last night I did this. This little section here is brand new. Brand new. I think I put in 5 lengths of floss. Oh, and it was so fun. I am using, you know what? I didn't bring it here today. I will show you the actual skein of floss tomorrow, but I'm using a Dinky Dyes. I want to say it's Ocean. Midnight Ocean. Okay, what I'll do is I'll check the skein, and I will put the name of the floss that I'm using in the drop down box below. Promise. So if you are in total love with this color, and let's face it, it's gorgeous in my humble opinion. So yeah, all of that is brand new. So, you know, I'm thinking it's a totally reasonable goal that I can have this finished by the end of the year. I forgot to mention yesterday, details on this. It is a pre-finished square, pre-finished linen square. I'm pretty positive this is a 28 count. It feels like a 28 count. It's stitching like a 28 count. I'd have to get out my ruler and measure the HPI, which means holes per inch. I usually measure threads per inch, so I'm interested to know why it should be holes per inch, but maybe that's a little more accurate. However, I'm using 2 strands of this beautiful Dinky Dyes silk floss, and this fabric square, I always feel slightly bad when I have to say this, because I purchased it. This is why the podcast was called From the Stash Pile, because so many of my projects are, you know, old stash, or I'm using stuff that I bought years ago. So this was a piece of pre-finished fabric square that I purchased from my local needlework shop. I don't even know when, 5 years ago maybe. And I do know that Kathy told me it was made by a company named Ubelhor, which is a European company. I do know that Witchelt sells pre-finished what do they call them? Unembroidered or embroidery free linens. If you just Google Wichelt, W-I-C-H-E-L-T, I think I've got that right off the top of my head, then you can do a little search. You won't find exactly this, but again, Ubelhor, and the spelling on that I'm gonna have to double check. I will try to put the name of the company down below. Maybe that might help you, do a little sleuthing on your own if you'd like to find it. But again, I don't know a colorway. I don't know anything else about it other than that. It's a 28 count, and I'm pretty sure that Ubelhor was the company name, and it's a lovely, lovely thing. So because it is already pre-finished, and as soon as I'm done the stitching, it will be complete, I'm trying to be super careful with my back. So this is the back of my project. I'm trying to keep it as neat as possible because this will be a standalone thing. I will not be putting a backing on it. It will simply, be as is. So I'm often asked for tips on how to keep the back neat, and basically there are really just two main things. If you get a knot, take care of it right away. Don't ignore it. Remove it or fix it. Get rid of those knots. Don't leave knots. The other thing is, I don't carry my thread very far. If it's more than 2 stitches, I clip and I do a pin stitch and I start a new thing. Now, even 2 to 3 stitches is generous, and that's only because you can't really see it. I check if I can see it through the front of the design. If I'm looking at it and I can tell that I've carried the thread, it's too far. And so you have to make those kind of decisions. Also, I guess there's 3 things. There's the third thing that I do, which is I start and I stop my stitches with a Bargello tuck, B-A-R-G-E-L-L-O, Bargello tuck. And all that means is that you run the needle on the back of the fabric through 3 or 4 stitches going in one direction. Pull it all the way through until the end of your length of floss is completely buried under those 3 or 4 stitches at the back. And that, so you be careful, because if you tug it too fast or too hard, it'll just come right out. And then once the tail end is completely hidden, you simply take your needle back to the last of that group of stitches and you do an extra little stitch at the end. So it's kind of like this. You're moving in this direction like that. Take the needle here and do the last one again. Tighten that stitch, and then it's anchored, and your end is your tail is hidden and tidy. And then I end my floss the same way at the back of the piece. And those are my 3, really, that's all I do. And that doing that alone keeps your back side neat and tidy, really, really neat and tidy. So what I might do is I might do a separate little video on how to keep your backs tidy, and basically just say exactly the same thing, because I am often asked that question, and all of the people who ask me that question aren't going to see this little tiny section of the video. Another question that I'm asked that I do have a little tutorial video on is how to start your floss when you have no stitching to attach it to. So first method I mentioned was the pin stitch. That's one way. I don't have a video on that, but lots of other great tutorials out there on doing the pin stitch. One of my other favorite ways to start is doing a waist or a way knot start. I'll link to that video down below. That's one of my favorites. And in fact, the reason I'm thinking about that is because it was this piece that I was starting that I used for that little tutorial video. So that is quite funny. So there you go. Anyways, oh, the frames that I'm using on these pieces are Kay's Creations lap frames, the wooden lap frames. They are a scroll rod system. So I attach on Savon, the rods are sew on. However, these are different. These ones are called handy clamp, and the fabric is simply clamped to the rod. There's no you know, fabric to sew it to. This is just a clamp and it's clamped on. I do use some quilt batting. You can see just there. I do use a bit of quilt batting to help protect the fabric. These, I got this particular frame at a friend's downsizing yard estate sale, and I paid $10 for it. So these are older style tension rod, tension adjusters that I think you can still buy these as part of the set. And I'll tell you, they're really nice to have, because once you've adjusted your fabric in place, you can then crank the tension a little bit even tighter with these adjusters on each side, and that's really a nice feature. So I only have one set of these, but I do wish I had a few more, so maybe one day, but kind of maxed out on frames already. I really don't need any more frames. Okay, I think that's it for me today. I will tomorrow, I have a really busy day tomorrow. I have a couple of things that I have to actually do out of the house. It's been a while since I've had to do several things in one day out of the house. So I think, like many of you, I've gotten very used to, very comfortable being in my own little bubble here. And so knowing that I have to leave the house for a big chunk of time tomorrow is, I don't know, I'm just a little, not anxious about it, but it's on my mind. So anyway, I should explain, our city, London, is currently, London, Ontario, we are currently in the red zone for COVID at the moment. So one more step is lockdown. So there was an outbreak at our university hospital a couple weeks ago, and they're still working on containing that. They think they've rounded the corner, but the university hospital is well, you know, it's one of those things. So yes, London is in the red zone. We are supposed to be very cautious, very careful about where we go, what we do, and keep everything to an absolute minimum. So yeah, knowing that I have to go out tomorrow is, you know, it's just one of those things. We are all dealing with the same things. Well, I am not a frontline essential worker, so no, I am not dealing with the same things as many of you out there who are watching me. So that was a you know, with that caveat, because I am not a frontline essential worker. So an enormous thank you and expression of gratitude to those of you who don't have a choice and who do have to go to work every single day. So okay, so that is it for me today. Auctions will be up later this afternoon. I have a lot of sewing to do today, and perhaps a fresh cup of coffee to send me on my way. I will see you all tomorrow. I hope you're well, hope you're safe, and that you have some time today to do some crafting just for you. And we are marching towards the end of the year, aren't we? We are at December 16th, 2020. Holy cow. All right, everybody, have a great night. See you tomorrow. Happy stitching.